Good morning, doctor. Welcome back.
Good morning, Venkatesh. Nice to be back with you.
Thank you. Great. So our topic for today is be kind. We've spoken about this topic in different ways, having empathy, encouraging others. Today we are specifically saying be kind. And the reason it's part of our series on wellness is very often, even with the best of intentions and so on, we don't show kindness, right? We don't actually show in our relationships the tender, loving care that most people actually want very badly. And if we can do that, we help not just them, we help ourselves above all else. Yes. So that's why we're talking about it, doctor. Over to you.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Venkatesh. Now, the word kind, you know, is to most people's minds, it is, oh, it's nothing, it's a big deal. If you say kind, big deal. Always be kind, big deal. So they tend to put it off or brush it aside
Correct.
because people often feel that this word doesn't deserve any explanation or any implementation.
Correct.
But by and large, if you really stop for a moment to think what you are writing or saying, then
Correct.
the word kind assumes a lot of significance.
Correct.
And most of the talks that we do or the stuff that we embark on
Right.
takes kind for granted.
Correct.
And therefore, it loses its importance or significance. In fact, if somebody just asked you, are you kind? Are you mad? I mean, I'm always kind. This
Yes.
this day-to-day day-to-day interpretations are they are valid, they are true.
Correct.
But then our idea is to make it a conscious effort to utter this word and mean what we mean by these words.
Correct.
If you are saying something without meaning it, then your mind may be something else, thinking about a cinema or something. But then somebody says, "Be kind," you say, wow, wake up.
Correct.
So, but this idea is to wake people up.
Correct.
When you say kind, we want people to be aware of kindness.
Correct.
Again,
Correct.
complicating an uncomplicated thing.
No, it's a very
So,
good point. It's actually a very, very good point you're making, doctor. Because it's this word kind is taken so
yeah,
much for granted. In fact, some people look down on it, right? Being kind, why should
right,
you be kind? Be good. Even if you're good, you don't need to be kind. Kind of, right?
right,
So
right.
absolutely, absolutely.
So let us take a closer look at this. Now let us try
Yes.
and understand what we mean by kindness. Hmm? How do you define kindness? Again,
Correct.
we'll say, oh my God, you are back again to the rigmarole of defining and whatever. But then the word has a definite meaning and
Right.
definite implication, definite connotation. And it should be mind, body, and soul. When you say kind, ideally it should be mind, body, and soul. But many times we forget the mind and forget the soul
Correct.
and the body part of it.
Correct.
Okay, I'm kind in my mind, so I'm done. I'll go and watch a movie or something.
Correct.
So, it dismisses the thing.
Correct.
99% of the things. Many of them, again, I'm repeating this. Many people that they feel that there is no need to define and understand kindness.
Correct.
But we thought,
Yeah.
why not? Let's take a closer look at it. See, as you may have noticed in our behavioral sessions,
Right.
we pick up common entities
Correct.
and try and dissect out the whole thing.
Correct.
That has been a theme
Correct.
all through.
Correct.
Uh, say thank you or good or bad, the word good.
Right.
What do you mean by that? We
Correct.
dissect out of.
Correct.
And in a sense, it is madness, but in a sense, it's vital because
Correct.
most of us express our meaning and connotation
Correct.
in a particular way, especially in depth if they are in trouble and the word has to be elaborated.
Correct.
So let us see how it can ramify into the
Yeah.
whole thing. Any
You
comment,
made a very
Venkatesh?
important point I wanted to emphasize, doctor, because one thing you said, and which is actually different from many other things, in kindness, in this mind, body, soul kind of thing, very often people say, okay, if I'm kind in my mind, I don't need to show it, right? What you said. This is the reverse in many other things. In many other things, you show it, but you don't mean it. But very often in kindness, you think you mean it, so people should understand it, right? Whereas
Right.
kindness is a lot about it's being expressed and understood. And that's a very good point you're making. Yeah.
Right, right. In short, we take many things for granted and
Exactly.
we imply many things for granted, and that's not, and that's a problem. If you
Correct.
really look at relationship problem,
Correct.
you have to see that the other person is expecting something deeper than just kind, hello, thank you, and all that. He
Correct.
expects some deeper implication and meaning,
Correct.
and the word uttered in a significant manner
Correct.
will make a lot of difference in a relationship situation, and
Correct.
relationships ultimately make society.
Correct.
So we have to make sure that our relationships are adequately emphasized
Correct.
with the use of the word kind and so
Correct.
forth. Here we have an embodiment of kindness and
Right.
compassion,
Right.
and that is Mother Teresa.
Correct.
As you know, Mother Teresa was actually a Eastern European girl
Correct.
at the 16, 17.
Correct.
And when she was exposed to the savage poverty, yeah,
Correct.
she didn't know how to react. She was flabbergasted. She was
Right.
flustered that somebody can like this live like this in the streets of Calcutta.
Correct.
People were dying and
Correct.
nobody bothered.
Correct.
People were dying like fleas and nobody bothered. They'll say, "Oh, big deal, yeah. Everybody is dying every time." So
Correct.
they devitalized the whole thing.
Yeah.
And people said, big deal, why are you wasting your time?
Correct.
And there is her maiden Czechoslovakian name or something, I don't know.
Correct.
That name disappeared from the lexicon.
Correct.
And she said, all right, I am here.
Right.
And I want to clean up this girl before she dies,
Right.
or clean up the man.
Correct.
People wondered why this lady landing here from Eastern Europe and
Correct.
then asking for soap and bucket of water.
Right.
And they said, this girl has gone mad. And
Right.
she said, no, I've not gone mad. And she went on to prove that she got the highest prize in the land. That
Right.
is a Nobel Prize, double
Right.
Nobel.
Right.
So Teresa is the life of compassion and service. Hmm?
Right.
And she could leverage it, and beyond a point she even radiated it.
Right.
Uh, in which she was experiencing it, and
Correct.
then as the movement grows, the thing was expanded to encompass other gents and ladies around her.
Correct.
So by the time she passed away, she had an enormous following,
Correct.
physical as well as mental and as well as moral
Correct.
or spiritual.
Correct.
Spiritual. No, she was that kind of a personality,
Correct.
and that's all arising out of kind
Correct.
kindness and compassion. They are very close together,
Correct.
and subtle differences there.
Correct.
Any comment on that, Anku?
Yeah. No, I think very important again. There are two or three levels to this. One is we can see exactly like you said, simple acts of just helping people with things that they couldn't do for themselves, how powerful a symbol it is for everyone, right? It did not mean, as is quite famously said, that she was always very sweet or always kind in her words, but she symbolized that. And just the fact that she came to mean so much to people shows how important kindness is, right? And showing it in deeds and words, or in actions, is so important to people. Now, we cannot all strive to be, in a life of entirely that kind of service. But as you started with this, our relationships can do with a bit of that thought, right? And that's what today is about.
Right, very true. On this side of the Atlantic, as they say, you know,
Or other,
the
in the
other
same land, but in a different context.
same
Yes.
time. So we have saints and noble men and nice people
Correct.
who do the same at
Right.
different levels in their own capacity. For
Correct.
example, you take a saint like Tukaram.
Correct.
Tukaram lived a life of love,
Right.
and his manifestation of love was simply to magnify the emotion, of love to God. Who is
Love for
God?
God, love for Vittal. Yeah.
Yeah, Vithoba was the God. And similarly, we have, next slide, please. Similarly, we have so many other people in
Correct.
various lands, different types of personalities, and all of them mean the same. Eventually, all of them converge into love and compassion.
Right.
Now, Sant Tukaram was one example. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a sort of enough information about how to define kindness. Now, somebody asked, "Well, how do you define kindness?" Now I think we are in a position to sort of defining
Right.
kindness. And what is that? How do you define it?
Correct.
The simplest, easiest thing is to be friendly and considerate.
Correct.
Your kindness doesn't have to be expressed or manifested, or warmth need not be radiated,
Correct.
but still just be friendly.
Correct.
That is kindness. You don't have to
Correct.
do anything. You don't have to twist and turn your body and mind and soul.
Correct.
Just be friendly. The simplest way of kindness.
Correct.
And that is what, as we just saw, it is absolutely vital to be friendly and considerate.
Right.
And will automatically lead to concern for others.
Correct.
Now, this concern for others is when you see somebody in bad shape,
Correct.
you move ahead and say, do some thank you, or extend a hand of love and friendship,
Correct.
and showing concern for others.
Correct.
And all this will lead to treating others like the way you like to be treated.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, for example, the typical problem with our bureaucratic setup is that you lick the boots of the boss and kick the guy on the rump.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so putting it very bluntly,
Yeah.
you
Absolutely. Or
bend
the
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
or the age-old one at home, right? That every mother-in-law was once a daughter-in-law being treated badly by someone, but
Right,
when she becomes mother-in-law, instead of learning from that, she tends to repeat the same mistakes that were done to her. Instead,
right,
instead, if she would treat the daughter-in-law the way she would have liked to be treated as the daughter-in-law in her time, it's a very
right,
stereotypical example, but it's a good one, similar, right? Exactly.
right, right. So kindness is manifested along these lines too. There are ways and ways of manifesting it, and
Yeah.
we have author
But I
had picked
think
up.
this is a very good one you have picked, Doc, because I think the emphasis here, and that's the as we started the session, kindness is about showing that concern, right? And
Right,
very often people tend to either underestimate it or sometimes even denigrate it. But it is a
right,
very human and vital need of human beings to be shown consideration, to be shown concern, and to be treated well, right? Not just good
right,
intentions and not just saying that no, I have your best interest in my mind, why do I need to show it to you? Yeah.
right. So, expressed in other words, kindness is the quality of being warm-hearted.
Correct.
To the other person, you have to be warm and
Correct.
friendly,
Correct.
yeah, and considerate and humane and sympathetic. All these are sakaratmak manifestations,
Right.
positive manifestations.
Correct.
And there is nothing negative, and there can be anything negative in kindness.
Correct.
Kindness should be 100% pure, sakaratmak and sattvic, as we call it. Should be
Correct.
peaceful and positive.
Yeah.
So that is one way of looking at kindness.
Yeah.
Next slide, please.
Yeah. No, a very good point again here, and we didn't spend too much time on it. But why, for example, Sant Tukaram is a good example of this. Is many in the Bhakti movement of Maharashtra, if you look at how they were depicted or how they wrote bhajans, etc., they're filled with this warmth, right?
Right,
If you look at how Tukaram was described, it's not just that he loved Vithoba; he was warm and kind to everyone. Is the way you say
right,
that that person is a sant, right? And
right,
he's a great soul, or this Vinamrata, as they talk about even Rama, which we are coming to shortly. It is something that we associate with, with the saints and so on. Yeah,
right. In other words, or in short, kindness is a gift everyone can afford to give. Now, you can't say that I've got
correct,
this much difficulty with money or my health or this or that,
correct,
and therefore you will not show kindness. It doesn't work
correct,
like that. Kindness is all pervasive, and everybody can use it. Everybody can display it. Yeah,
correct,
and display doesn't have to be very ostentatious. You don't have to, open up all your khajanas and stuff like that.
correct,
But kindness is available to anybody at any time.
correct,
It has zero cost
correct.
and infinite benefit. Yeah, zero
Yeah,
cost and infinite benefit. I just made it up, but
no, but perfect, perfect, absolutely. If you
so
can, if
everyone
you can, if you can see that, if you can see exactly what you said, that it costs you nothing to be kind, and that even
Yeah,
when you have to, let's say, do certain things which are, let's say, tough for the good of people, it doesn't mean you have to do it unkindly. You can do it kindly, right? So kindness is
right,
always available and possible. Absolutely.
correct, correct, correct.
Which brings us to, yes, very good point. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It takes strength to be kind. Some people think that kindness is weakness. It's
Correct.
not.
Correct.
Uh, because it requires a strong character, a strong strength of conviction for you to be uh, kind and then be unwavering in kindness. You can't
Correct.
say that at 12 o'clock I was kind and I was 1 o'clock I was not. Then it is not kindness. It should be radiant all through,
Correct.
and it's not a weakness. You make up your mind to be considerate or
Correct.
kind.
Correct.
That radiates and that shows, and it is not a weakness. You
Correct.
know. So some of the management experts defined it that way. I think it's a good way of defining it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely beyond, far beyond management. It's about humanity, and there
Yeah,
is no doubt about the fact that to be kind and considerate, you first have to be ready to be a little vulnerable, which you can only be if you have you have enough security in yourself, or you are strong enough to demonstrate that. Right? Otherwise, people are very
right.
worried. I'll be kind. That guy is not kind back to me. How will I react? It requires
Right.
strength to say no. I'll be kind. I'll start.
Yeah. But kindness is not a transaction. That has to be remembered. Uh,
Exactly.
you
Correct.
are kind to somebody, and the other fellow may or may not be kind in return.
This is a
So
very
you
good
don't
point.
get disheartened.
Yeah, you're
And
not being kind for the return of kindness.
yeah, again, karmaneva adhikaraste phalama phaleshu kadachana comes in. You know, so things can be made into a transaction very easily.
Correct.
Hmm? I
Correct.
looked at you in the meeting, and therefore I am kind to you, and therefore you should be kind back to me. Now,
Correct.
this kind of distorted logic,
Yeah.
puts people on. And the second time you won't even look at you. Now, how much does it cost to look?
Correct.
And 90% of misunderstandings come out of not looking.
Correct.
Um, you know,
Not
so,
acknowledging. Yeah. Not acknowledging the other person. Not
yeah,
acknowledging the
right,
contribution.
right. So, such are the examples.
Yeah.
And it should be actually, hmm, you should be unkind, you should be kind to unkind people. Just now we saw the manifestation or a definition. Hmm. A fellow is unkind, but still you be kind.
Correct.
You know? So that indicates your nobility and a very high level of thinking.
Right.
And not too many people do that. 90% of people use kindness as a transaction,
Correct.
and that is not kindness. So what you think is kindness is not.
Correct.
So, so what do? You be kind to people, unkind people, and do it irrespective of that because the other guy needs it the most.
Correct.
And he'll say, "Who asked you to do all that? Who? I didn't ask you to be kind to me." Otherwise, people go off in a tangent and say,
Correct.
"If you were kind to me, that was your headache.
Correct.
No, you be kind, I'll be kind. Otherwise, get lost. Very, very transactional way of using
Correct.
kindness.
Correct.
And for example, a birthday gift
Right.
is one. I wished you birthday on February whatever, and
Right.
therefore you should wish birthday
Wish
in
me back.
August what.
Yeah. Return
Yeah,
gift, return wish. Correct.
yeah,
That is
with
hardly
interest.
kindness. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and with interest. You can't say I gave you 10 rupees worth of kindness, you return it 12 rupees or something. You know,
Yeah.
so. So it's required. There are Tirukkural is an example of where condensation of all noble qualities in humans. We won't
Correct.
get into that now, but Tirukkural talks about the same, which is the
Right.
same as Bhagavad Gita.
Right.
Don't wait to get any returns. There is no
Right.
return.
Correct.
It is one-way traffic.
Correct.
There is- You
That
do
is
it
your,
the one way.
yeah, you do it because it is the right thing for you to do, not because you are
Yeah,
expecting a transactional return. Absolutely.
right, right. Now, here is an example of how kindness can be manifested or manifest in uh, different situations between different persons and species.
Correct.
And for that, we put Ramayana as an example.
Correct.
Uh, in Ramayana, there is one squirrel in the Setu, in that bridge which the Vanara Sena was building. Hmm?
Right.
everybody in the universe converged to help. You
Right.
know, people knew that this bridge building is a noble exercise,
Correct.
and they wanted to contribute their might to
Correct.
this.
Correct.
So everybody was taking a stone uh, or a pebble
Correct.
to make the bridge strong. And here was a squirrel which felt that it should play its own part.
Correct.
You can't be there sitting idle when the entire Vanara Sena is busy.
Correct.
And the squirrel went about doing that. But then the people over there started laughing.
Correct.
The squirrel is such a tiny little creature, and you're doing something you think you are helping building the bridge, but you are not helping anything. The bridge is too big for you to be helped, and
Correct.
so forth. But
Correct.
then the bridge got, the Setu got
Correct.
disheartened and sulked, went into the corner and kept sulking. And
Correct.
then Lord Sri Ram, excuse me, saw this and wondered what was happening. And he said, "No, don't worry, squirrel. I am there to protect your interests, and I am there to ensure that your efforts are not wasted."
Correct.
And that is where, on the backside of every squirrel, you see three lines. You
Correct.
know, and the three lines indicate the gentleness and the kindness with which Lord Rama,
Ram
uh,
stroked him. Yeah. Lord Rama
yeah,
stroked him. Correct. Correct.
good example of kindness,
Correct.
but it is effective. The squirrel got motivated.
Correct.
The squirrel, which was speaking 2 minutes ago, got motivated,
Correct.
and that motivation led to reinforcement of the bridge,
Correct.
even without your knowledge.
Correct.
You are encouraging somebody, and you without your knowledge, that person ends up better and stronger and
Correct.
nobler.
Correct.
So that
And
kind of
that
a
is what,
situation.
yeah, I guess very often they give the example, right? Why Rama is the Maryada Purushottam, as they call it. Why Rama is the
Right,
ideal man is that despite being such a, you know, incredibly powerful warrior and, someone who could destroy the Rakshasas or, Dasharatha, oh, sorry, Ravana, my apologies. He basically was always gentle to those who were weaker than him, or was always gentle in his speech and soft and compassionate in his speech, is supposed to be a very important part of what Rama signified, right? So, exactly, exactly what you've been talking about.
right,
Yeah,
right. So, if you expand the concept of inclusiveness,
right,
hmm, Sri Ram, for example, didn't mind picking up a squirrel and stroking it gently,
correct,
because to Sri Ram's mind, the squirrel and vanaras are the same.
correct,
You may have learned about this kind of logic, but you are inclusive. You
correct,
are inclusive of animals, you are inclusive of everything.
correct,
And that is where the global wellness comes in.
correct,
How do you become globally well? You are including everybody in your definition,
correct. Of
which is
family.
good. So,
Yeah,
you
the
see,
whole world is your family. Kutumbakam is,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
are
that is a
extending
prayer.
what you are supposed to extend to your family. It's a different matter that
Yeah.
many of us have to start doing it in the family itself. But yeah,
Right.
the idea is to extend the concept of family beyond just uh,
Right.
the standard definition. Absolutely.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu is one standard expression that the end of the each loka,
Right,
loka samastaha. I mean, all lokas, all 24 whatever worlds or 27 worlds or whatever number
correct,
of worlds that sukhino bhavantu. You are wishing them well, and you are not only selfishly stroking your own ego.
correct,
So, lokaha samastaha, sukhino bhavantu. They let them be happy.
correct,
Let them be happy. But
correct,
there are people in the world whose happiness lies in somebody else's unhappiness.
correct.
So, if somebody
That
else is
zero
unhappy,
sum, yeah, that zero sum view is, is the path to actually unhappiness.
yeah. So it's a very important principle, because to wish everybody well, it
Correct,
requires a lot of truth and conviction. You
correct,
know. And again, we saw, no, the other guy is bad, but you don't join the bad company.
correct,
You be good.
correct,
He is bad, good. What you be good,
correct,
etc.
correct,
So compassion is support and concern for others. And that is another very simple thing that you can do to express uh, kindness.
correct.
And that is simple, zero sum, zero cost, nothing. Zero cost,
Zero
infinite
cost. Yeah, zero
happiness.
cost. Correct.
You take time to listen to others. It's again, all best things in life are free. There is a saying.
Right.
So here is a guy who is some practitioner who says just time to listen. And what is the big deal? What is the big deal about kindness and listening? And that
Right.
is precisely this part of kindness.
Correct.
You lend kind ear to the guy across the table,
Correct.
and that is kindness in its own very noble manner, exhibited for the benefit of others,
Right.
regardless of what animal or human being would be there. So
Correct.
taking time to listen to others, yes, and it's very tough.
Correct.
Your mind is preoccupied with the meeting tomorrow and day after my travel here, there, blah, blah.
Correct.
And you have no time. You have
Correct.
no time to
In
stop
fact,
even
time
when,
is one of those things which is maybe the most difficult for people to give. And within
yeah,
that, give time and attention. You could
yeah,
protect, you might give, like you said, a couple of minutes, but you have to give your attention is one of the toughest things. And to your earlier
yeah,
point about the, gesture in a meeting, one of the things most human beings need very badly, you can get into why they need it, but we are human beings in a social situation. We are social animals. They need
right,
acknowledgement, right? They need
right,
you to
right,
pay attention to them. They need you to listen to them. They need you to recognize their presence and contribution, like the squirrel. Uh,
right,
and that is actually very important and one of the most important elements of kindness beyond just being good. Right.
right. I know this is where the concept of quality time comes.
Correct.
Many times, before the dawn of the era of management lingo,
Correct.
quality time is something, I am giving you time, but I am giving you quality time, but you are not giving me quality time. You can argue
Correct.
and get by that. What do you mean by that? Quality time is again a ma phaleshu kadachana. You are giving
Correct.
and you are not sure about the returns. You are not making it a transaction.
Correct.
That time is not a transaction for you.
Correct.
And you can arrive at this with this good old expression, tender loving care. Now, if the can be of at various levels, body, mind, and soul.
Correct.
And tender loving care is if somebody is in distress,
Correct.
and you have to care, and you have to love, and you have to therefore be tender. And you can change the order. You can care, tender, loving, whatever, but the end
Correct.
result is the same.
Correct.
No, you are offering something totally selfless.
Correct.
Yeah. And there is zero concern, zero involvement about the givers, so-called givers, possessiveness.
Correct.
But you are doing it. You are loving,
Correct.
tender, love, care. And you practice it, you will know when there is, for example, uh, the world's population is now aging and people are crossing 70, 75, 80, 85,
Correct.
and articles everywhere on YouTube.
Correct.
Hmm? and what do you do? You say, why should I help this guy? This fellow is about to die. Like that Mother Teresa story.
Correct.
Uh, you just stop by and say a few kind words. That is tender loving care. That's not making any difference at all. But it is there. And that
It
is
makes a
felt.
huge difference, rather. Yeah. It may not cost you anything, but it makes a huge difference. And
Yeah, yeah. And if you go to the cash terms or whatever, cash value of whatever you're doing, there's a tremendous cash value of just yeah, being tender and nice to people.
correct. Yeah. Or
That is a
rather, put another way, I mean, it's not cash, or rather, it is not about the cash, but it is about something far greater. Correct. I
right,
think the
right, right.
emphasis today has been a lot on, and which is very important, and that's why we chose kindness, right? You could say I'm caring without being tender and loving. And
Yeah,
actually, human beings have to acknowledge that we need that tender and loving. And to your point, that very often you can say, no, no, I'm doing all my things, I'm doing my duties to you, or I'm doing, no, I gave you food, or I did this, or I did that for you. But you do it with
yeah,
some roughness and you do it inconsiderately, the care
yeah,
loses its value. The same thing
yeah.
done with tenderness, where you show your love. And that's what tenderness is, right? You can say, I love
Right,
you. Why
right.
do I need to show it to you? But
Yeah,
that's not the way human beings work. And that's true from babies upwards. People need that tenderness. And it is
right,
better to acknowledge that we need it and everyone else needs it as well.
right, right. This is where the concept of uh, you know moment, being in the moment.
Correct.
You are giving that and you should be living it in the moment.
Correct.
You can't postpone it. It doesn't happen by itself. Now, this is quality time, the quality of which is determined by your presence. The so-called
Correct.
presence. A simple word again.
Correct.
Presence. What is presence? I can run another workshop on presence,
Correct.
and you are present.
Yeah.
Because you are putting your tana mana dhan run, they say
Yeah.
tana
Full
mana
focus and attention is in the moment. Yeah.
yeah. So tana mana dhana is a concept again, Oriental concept, Indian
Correct.
concept.
Correct.
You are present.
Correct.
You are present. Mind you, the word
Correct.
present very heavy, heavily loaded with values.
Correct.
Hmm? You are present in the body. You are present in your mind, and the trickiest part is you are present in your spirit.
Correct.
This is the trickiest part,
Correct.
etc. So
Yeah.
it's like that, giving yourself completely,
Correct.
unqualified donation of your presence. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Next slide, please.
No,
Yeah.
this is the end. This is the last slide now.
Okay. Okay. Are we okay time wise?
Yeah. So we are. So I'll summarize then. We have reached the last slide. Unless you have any closing thoughts.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But ultimately, to my mind, everything that I want to convey to the people around me, whatever now, about 100 odd people have watched or seen this. Almost everything now, balance is the essence, we say.
Correct.
Now, every level, I would consciously or subconsciously tie everything down to body, mind, and soul because the body, mind are fairly easy to discern.
Correct.
And the spirit is the one that is the tough part.
Correct.
Again, I
Yeah.
gave you my present. I was sitting next to your bed when you were not well, you had typhoid, and I was there to help you, etc., etc. And if you are taking this approach, body and mind,
Correct.
then you're really aggrandizing yourself. It's kind of a selfish kind of a transaction that you are indulging in, which
Right.
should not happen.
Correct.
Or should be consciously moving away from the physical part of it and moving into the metaphysical part of it, if you like. We can put this as an example, if you like. And this is how we should live.
Right.
It's not something body, mind, and soul triad. It's not something that you take out at say 5:30 in the evening and then you work on it till 5:45. You put the timer and you're working on it. It doesn't happen that way.
Correct.
Either it's there or it's not there. Whether or not you are conscious or otherwise. That's a very powerful combination of the
Bringing all
forces.
three to bear. Correct. And
All
if any one of
the,
them is missing, it clearly shows.
right. So I would lay a good amount of emphasis on the triad, the body,
Correct.
mind, and spirit triad, and that
In
will
the context
constantly.
of, yeah, in the context of anything, including kindness.
Right, right. So that
So
is what
I'll,
I thought I would.
yeah, no, perfect, perfect. Just wrapping up because of the time. I'll summarize, Doctor.
Yeah, yeah, your job.
No. So today we talked about kindness and we talked about its importance in our wellness, especially in terms of what it does for our relationships. We have talked in the past of the need to be encouraging, to have empathy, to understand people. Kindness was a specific aspect of our relationships which goes beyond these or is interlinked with them, which is we need to show that consideration. People need, in a manner as we ended towards the end spoke about, people need to be acknowledged, to be given your attention, to be given your presence, and need to be treated with compassion, with tenderness, and with a demonstration of love. Now, all of this emphasis, quite often people either tend to underestimate, sometimes they actively almost denigrate it, saying, oh, if I care for you, if I've shown it in actions, why do you need words? Why do you need my presence? Why do you need my time? You should understand I love you. You should understand I care for you. But that is not how we are structured as human beings, and our relationships suffer when we don't give it the importance that it deserves. So, Doctor started with explaining that kindness is one of those very, very underestimated words. And kindness and compassion, quite often people tend to think that if I've done everything else right, these are not relevant, they don't need to be shown. It's actually quite the reverse. And doctor concluded with talking about mind, body, and spirit. You need to not just do the actions and spend the time in all of these, but it's the spirit that counts. And if it is transactional, people understand very quickly, right? And then the whole purpose is lost. It is no longer kind, and no longer has it really benefited your relationship. With
Right,
that,
right.
look forward to seeing you next time, Doc.
Thank you. Yes, same here. Look forward
Thank,
to our next session.
yep. Thank you so much, Doc. See you. Bye.